have now achieved the exact measurement we were looking for. We use a blowtorch to slightly heat the surface, which will make it shinier. With this, the rotor is finished. Before assembling the entire assembly, we will clean and polish the different parts of the alternator. Let's assemble the parts. We place the bearing in one of the covers. Then we place the stator winding and then insert the modified rotor motor. We must be very careful because when we bring it closer to its position, that magnetic field will suddenly attract it inwards. We continue with the upper cover. And join the entire assembly with its bolts. We are going to place this elastic coupling on one end of the shaft. This coupling will allow us to join the alternator shaft to the engine shaft later. We have previously threaded the hole at one end of the coupling to be able to screw it onto the alternator shaft. In addition, when tightening this bolt, the thread will be completely blocked. Now we are going to turn this aluminum cylinder. This piece will be used to attach a manual starter to the other end of the alternator shaft. Here we have the manual starter. And this piece will be attached to the piece we have just manufactured. We will mark the fixing holes. We drill the different holes and thread the different holes. With a blowtorch, we heat the piece so that the hole expands, and we can introduce pressure into the alternator shaft. Soldering the cables to each of the terminals of the internal coils of the alternator. We solder it with tin using a soldering iron and insulate the connections with heat shrink tubing. We have joined the coils in a star connection. We secure the cables with some cable ties. We screw the starter piece to the alternator and check that it turns perfectly. Now we are going to manufacture the frame to secure the elements of our electric generator. Here we have all the welded pieces. We also drill and thread some fixing holes. We will place some rubber feet under this wooden base. And now we will place the frame. Previously we have prepared holes to assemble the frame. Now we are going to fix the manual starter system. We have made it with transparent methacrylate and aluminum. We unscrew this piece again. We place some washers that will serve as a supplement. We place the centered piece on the washers and fix it to the alternator with 3 bolts. We screw the central piece back on. And on top of this whole assembly, we fix the manual starter with 6 bolts. Now we are going to install the alternator on its frame. We use these 4 bolts to fix it. Now we place the 3-phase motor that will drive our generator. It fits perfectly centered in the elastic coupling and we fix it with 4 bolts.
Em nghe nói nếu muốn ngủ thì đừng có mở cái app Sugo ra, có đúng không anh? Đúng rồi, vì mấy bạn nữ ở đó chủ động lắm, vừa đăng nhập vào là bạn sẽ nhận được tin nhắn từ khắp nơi, thậm chí còn có cả cuộc gọi thoại và video nữa.
Booking an apartment with good Wi-Fi is great. Connecting with the locals is even better. Booking.com, booking.yeah. You can see the complete specifications of the motor in the extended version of this video, only for members. We check that the starter works perfectly. Now we are going to install a multiple socket base. We screwed these two screws into the wooden base, which will fit perfectly into these slots so that the socket base is fixed. And a 3-phase power socket. As you requested in previous videos, we will attach it here. We also tighten the bolt that secures the elastic coupling to the motor shaft. This will be the ignition switch. The 3-phase motor is connected to the switch output. In addition, we will connect 3 cables to the switch input that will later be connected to the 3-phase alternator. We will attach the ignition switch to the motor using this bracket. We can see that the internal coils of the motor are connected in a delta or triangle pattern. Here we will attach the switch to its bracket. We will insert the 3 cables of the 3-phase alternator into this base. We connect these 3 cables to the 3-phase socket. And connect the 3 cables to this terminal block. At the other end of the terminal block, we must connect the 3 cables of the alternator and the 3 cables that come out of the switch. We will also connect the 2 cables of the multiple socket. Once we have everything connected, we close the 3-phase socket box. Now it is ready to work. Before continuing with the tests, we would like to remind you that we have created a private community for the Liberty Engine project on Spool. It is a community where you can speak freely, where there will be no censorship for any type of idea, and where all those interested in free energy next generation projects are coming together, and where we will even test the prototypes that you propose. In addition, you will support the channel and will be able to discover more about our projects and what is being done in the world in terms of alternative energies. Click on the link on the card or on the link that you will have in the description or pinned message to access it. White minds do not need to be told what to think. They just need to meet. And we have created the meeting point for all of you. We are waiting for you inside the community. Here we have built our self-propelled generator. We activate the 2 switches and pull the starter firmly. The system starts up and maintains itself autonomously. We are going to use a voltmeter to measure the output voltage. For the test, we are going to connect this 3-phase motor there is no voltage between the motor terminals. 0 volts, that means that this motor does not contain any hidden battery. Now we connect the plug to the 3-phase socket of our Liberty engine, and the motor starts. Now, if we measure between the motor terminals, we see that we have a voltage of 230 volts between phases. We also have the same voltage if we measure at the multiple socket base. Now we are going to connect this lamp to the socket. Our generator does not have any variation in power or speed, because thanks to the secret alloy of the rotor, eddy currents and magnetic braking are completely eliminated. As we can see, we can continue connecting devices such as this drill without repercussions on performance. With this 10-kilowatt electric generator, we can power a house perfectly.
Oh.
When we turn off the switch, our machine stops. Once the tests are finished, it deserves the Liberty engine badge.